Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Let's get started on today's problem. This is from the Geometry Through Competitions book, so be sure to check it out. So we have that y equals 1 over cos x. We're asked to find what y double dash is. So we first start off by finding what y dash is, so we use the division rule. So we have cos x times the derivative of 1, which is 0 because it's a constant, minus 1 times the derivative of cos x, which is minus sine x, and of course we divide the whole thing by the denominator squared, so this will be cos squared x. So this equals 0 minus, we have minus here and minus here, so you would end up having a positive sine x over a cos squared x. We can rewrite sine x by cos x as tan x, but since we have a cos squared x, we're missing out a cos x, so we have it in the bottom. But we can also rewrite cos x. We can also rewrite 1 over cos x as secant x. So we have what our y dash is. It's tan x times secant x. Now let me get rid of everything else. And now let me just move this over here. Now let's get started on finding what y double dash is, which is the derivative of the expression on top, which is y dash. So we use the multiplication rule, so we have tan x times the derivative of secant x, which is tan x times secant x, plus secant x, which times the derivative of tan x, which is secant squared x. So we have this is equal to tan squared x times secant x plus secant cube x. And to make things a little easier, we're gonna borrow the secant, factor out the secant x out here, so we have tan squared x plus secant squared x. Now we have secant x times, we can rewrite this as sine x squared by cos squared x. Yeah, cos squared x. I'm sorry, this is sine squared x, not sine x squared. Let me just get rid of this. Now we add secant squared x. So we have secant x. Now we can rewrite cos squared x as secant squared x. And we can rewrite sine squared x as 1 minus cos squared x. So we have 1 minus cos squared x. Now we take this denominator, cos squared x, we change this to secant squared x. So we have secant squared x plus secant squared x. This is secant x. So we multiply this together, so we have secant squared x, and we're multiplying minus cos x minus cos squared x and secant squared x. If you multiply cos and secant, they're both reciprocal of each other, so you'll get 1, and since one of them is negative, it's minus 1. And we add secant squared x, so we have secant x times 2 secant squared x minus 1. So finally we would get that this is 2 secant cube x minus secant x. And this is our answer for what y double dash is. Thank you.